good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the panel tonight. It's Bridgeman and the legend that is JFK. Evening, boys.
Evening, Oxshire. Evening, Bridgeman.
Oh, can I say a huge good evening to you guys? Big good evening to the boys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans listening all over the world. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Bridgeman, got your expenses through. We're not paying for your mint imperials.
I love it, pal.
Unbelievable, JFK.
Mint Imperials, now there's a sweetie. Is he put in for a lot, like, aye?
He must be off a ton with the amount of money he's
Don't you listen to him?
You're
Shocker.
not paying for the Embridge.
Man's a shocker.
Mine's his wine gums, mate.
We're not paying for them neither.
Aye, real wine gums.
How we doing, gentlemen? One more sleep seems to be the battle cry. Looking forward to the ball game. Bit bizarre, came at Ibrox. I know you two would be there on a normal occasion. Can I get up for it, JFK?
I am up for it, mate. As I said before, when we were coming into the games behind closed doors, I was kind of a bit apprehensive about it, but with the crowd noise and that, and the way the camera is situated, you're not seeing an empty stadium. I'm enjoying the commentary with Clive Tilsley, so I'm enjoying it. I've got that G up again.
Right.
I'm looking forward to it tomorrow, definitely.
Good. That's good. I'm pleased for you.
Thank you.
Your good self, Bridgeman.
Oh yes, end of the day with Rangers, I'm always up for it.
If the
really
game
keen.
would have been on as normal, would you have been making your way over tomorrow, mate?
Oh,
Would you have passed the fitness
absolutely.
test?
Oh yes, absolutely. I'd have been there.
Right, so
I'd
there's
have been
nothing
there.
wrong with you then. So you've just been taking the beauty.
I'd have been going slowly, but I'd have been there for sure.
Right.
Absolutely.
The tend to suck on them mint imperials.
Mint Imperials, I love it.
I must admit, it's a wee bit better when it's your teammates playing. I've no really.
Yeah.
I gave the other games a wee bit I watched when the Premiership came back, and I just didn't bother. I found the Rangers just as stressful as normal, if I'm being honest. Enjoyed, obviously, we're sitting 3-0 up. You're wanting more goals. We had that stress, and then made the stress of wanting a goal last week. But we move on into Kilmarnock game, JFK, and let's see if we can do something that I don't think we've done since 1949-50, mate. Start the first 5 league games without losing a goal. What?
Yeah, I see that stat, mate. Aye, it's a good one. I'm confident about tomorrow, and let's put what happened last week behind us. I heard you discussed it during the week there, Matt. It's gone. Some negatives, but more positives. And for me, like Bridgeman, it's end today with the Rangers will be there. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm hopeful we'll get a good result tomorrow. Win the 3 points, and then we'll see what happens elsewhere later on. Let's not bother about what happens there before the game. Let's just concentrate on what we do for the 90 minutes at 3 o'clock onwards, mate.
Here.
Bridge, was that an exciting season, 49-50?
49-50, yeah. Very good. Actually, it probably was. Post-war, I think everything to do with any sport that people could go to the house and go to watch without endangering lives and things like that. I think it would have been great because there was huge crowds going to the football in the 49 and 50 time, you know. It was a big crowds up at post-war, big crowds.
So we think let me see if I got in 1948.
Mm-hmm.
Just check it. But so looking forward to it. We'll hear from the gaffer. I think there's a bit of a mixture of news, but no all great. We'll hear from him in a few minutes, and then we'll get the ball rolling. Does that make sense to you two boys?
Definitely,
absolutely,
mate.
Yeah, absolutely, bud.
You know, Kilmarnock in a team that's, I wouldn't say there's a bogey side, JFK, but they've gave us problems in the last maybe 3 or 4 years.
Aye, they have, mate. And look, again, they'll set up like everybody else when they come to Ibrox. So we need to make sure, hopefully, the gaffer puts out a team to battle that. But that'll be a hard game tomorrow. The Kilmarnock set themselves up well against the puddle drinkers after they'd scored the penalty. So we need to be wary of that. I'd love to see us have a right good go at them in the first 20 minutes. Not to finish the game, but try and put a marker on it, and because there will be a sticky game. You know, they'll probably go with that bank of 5 and 4 in front again. So we'll just need to wait and see what that happens on the day, mate.
One of the problems I think we've got with the games at Ibrox Bridge, that these teams, even if we get a goal, I think we'd have to get a second goal before we bring them out, because I believe that they would keep that tactic up until the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
You could call it a wee bit like rope-a-dope, couldn't you?
Well, I think to any team coming to Ibrox, I'm not being funny when I say this, a 1-0 isn't a bad result for them. But if you're right, if they can hold to the 75 minutes, or and then they can start to try a wee bit pressing of their own, irrespective of what the score is. But if they can keep it down to 1-0, my goodness, that's a big bonus. If they even 2-0, they can then start to press again, see if they can get something back, see what kind of damage they can cause us.
I know 2-0, you're never home and hose, JFK, but 2-0, if we bring them out, we should hopefully pick them off, and that's when we go and win 3 or 4 from me. Yeah.
Well, aye, of course, and that's probably what would have happened against Livingston. I mean, if we had managed to put the ball in the onion bag, then they would have need to have committed more forward. And I think in that aspect, we would have been on to win 2 or 3 or maybe 4. So it's imperative that we score the first goal and probably the second as well if we can get 2-0 up. They'll need to come out after that. There's no use them sitting back and trying for a damage limitation. So let's hope we can get that early goal, Oxshare, that will enable them to have to come out. And that gives us a lot more space, because this compact in the middle of the park and allowing our wingers and then just soaking it up, that's frustrating to watch. So let's hope that tomorrow we can go 2-0 up, because I think after that we could score maybe another 2 or 3 after that.
Aye, that's the thing, And obviously we've had a week's training, we've not had any midweek games, so obviously everybody, you're getting time to do stuff on the training pitch. Bridgeman, sometimes with a midweek game, you've not got the chance, because you've got the day before, you only do so much a day, the game the day after, so it takes a big part of your training for. But when you've got a full week, you can work on stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the poorest thing about it is that we've lost a big centre half.
Oh, I'm sure Stephen Gerrard will tell us about that in his press conference.
All right, cool.
Unless you want to do the press conference.
Not at all. No.
Imagine going to the pictures with him, JFK. He died getting shot here.
See one of these popcorn munchers.
Oh, mate.
Oh, tell me.
He's sitting there in his lap. See him, he gets shot just after this bit. Murder. Right, anyway, get yourself in mute before Bridge ruins any more of Stephen Gerrard's story. And we'll hear from you, Gaffer. Stephen Gerrard, MBE.
Okay, so I'll kick us off. Leon Balogun and Joe Aribo won't make the weekend. They're the players that are ruled out. Alan McGregor is back fit. He's trained with us for the first time yesterday and come through with no issues. Jermaine Defoe still won't be seen till after the international break. Is there anyone else? No, I think that's fine. I think that's it.
Morning, Stephen. How
Morning,
you doing? Just before you ask the other question, could you tell me about Aribo and Balogun? When they're going to be back? Are they going to be back before the international break, or?
I think they've both got a very good chance for next week. We obviously haven't got a game in midweek, so I expect them to have a real strong chance for next week. This weekend's come too soon for both.
Okay. There have been a number of reports linking Ryan Kent with Leeds United. Has there been any contact from Leeds to Rangers? And if not, it's presumably a hands-off message if there was any interest.
Yeah, that is the message, for sure. Hands off. Ryan's a player we admire very much here. He's a player that we've seen develop at Liverpool for a long time. We brought him here on loan. He done ever so well, and then we went and bought Ryan and showed a lot of faith in him, and he's done ever so well, and he's progressing very, very quickly here. He's in a good place, he's in good form, and he's a player we want to keep hold of. But the answer to your question is yes, we have had contact from Leeds, and an opening bid has been really strongly rejected.
And presumably if another one comes back, it would be the same reply?
Depends what that bid is, Charles, but the way off with the opening bid is the truth and the reality, and he's a player is not for sale. We don't want to lose Ryan, He's a big part of what we've been trying to build here. We want him to stay here for many, many years, but you know and I know that Premiership teams hold a lot of power, and that's the reality, that's the way it is. We have to accept that. But you know, the message to Leeds is the opening bid's nowhere near the valuation, and the player doesn't really have one because we don't want to sell.
Yeah. Ryan's such an important player for you. How much would that affect your plans if a bid came in that the club accepted?
Well, look, I think at the moment where it's at now, it's not really worth concerning myself with that situation. He's available for tomorrow. He's playing tomorrow. And that's my main focus right now. I can't really control what happens in the future. I've said it many a times before that every player has a price and a valuation. And you know, the way these things work, at some point it gets to the stage where it's probably taken out of my hands. That's the reality of it. But the good thing is that the board are on the same page as me with this one. They don't want to sell. We want the player to stay. He's a big part of our team and our squad and the plans. He's very well liked here. The fans love him. He's a fan's favourite. So I think Leeds have to respect that, because you know, if you look at their main players, you know, they've had a lot of interest in their main players and they've been really strong. You know, Calvin Phillips in the middle, there've been talk about him moving for many, many years. And that's what Ryan means to us. So they need to really think hard if they are going to come again.
And you were saying that the English Premier League clubs hold a lot of power, and for a lot of the English players as well, is it a difficult thing to try and draw them away from that when there is interest?
No, listen, I've had a chat with Ryan. Ryan's fine. Ryan's focused on the game tomorrow. There's no problem. He totally understands the situation and where it's at. He's aware of the Leeds situation, but we just move forward day by day in this situation, and hopefully it goes away. If it doesn't, we'll deal with it if it comes back.
Last week was obviously a frustrating result for yourself and the team. Some of the reactions from supporters has been quite, panicked, given just what's at stake this season. Do the fans need to show a wee bit of patience? Obviously, you had that long layoff. You're only sort of 4 games into the season. You're still trying to find your feet.
Well, I think first and foremost, the fans are well entitled to their opinion. That's what supporters are all entitled to have their opinion. Do I listen to all them opinions? No. I focus on the reality. I think we've had a real strong start to the season. Yes, it was a frustrating result. Yes, I was a little bit disappointed in the quality in our final third play on the day. But it's certainly no time to panic and listen to all the noise on the outside. I think we're 1 goal away from a perfect start. So when you analyse it properly, I'm pretty content where we are right now.
Morning to you, Stephen.
Good morning.
Do you think that the success of, like, Van Dijk, Andy Robertson, has increased the value of players playing in the SPFL?
Possibly, yes. I think it's also credit to the work that the coaches and the managers do with these individual players, with the development and giving them the platform to play week in, week out, and creating teams that do well in Europe. A lot of these Premier League teams and even the top 5 leagues in the world are watching Scottish football. It gets a lot of good, strong coverage. And that's the reality, is that's where we are. There is going to be predators looking for all the top players in this league. That's just the way it is. We have to accept that. But it doesn't mean we're not going to put one hell of a fight up to keep the top talent, certainly here at Rangers.
Hi Stephen, just on the game at the weekend, what have you made of your opponent's start to the season, and then how again do you make sure that what happened last weekend doesn't happen again? Obviously you'll expect them to come to Ibrox and set up in the low block. How do you make sure that doesn't happen again?
Well, I think the first part of your question, I think Kilmarnock are a team we have respect for sure. We've had some real good challenges against them in the past. We know they're very well drilled in the way they set up. In terms of their season so far, I think obviously they were it probably was a red card, but I think that was the reason why they lost the game against St Johnstone, but that was probably a game they would have won. And then they obviously take points off Celtic. So if you analyse it properly, they've probably had a stronger start than actually the points total suggests. So we know it's going to be a tough game. We know they'll be organised and a tough challenge to break down. But it's been nice to have a full week to really focus on certain things that we weren't too pleased with at Livingston, and hopefully we can put them things right come tomorrow.
Hi Stephen.
Hello.
Something that Chris Boyd said last week during the Sky coverage of the match was that he felt in matches against sides who set up so defensively that there might be a temptation on your part to sacrifice one of the two central midfielders, in last week's case Ryan Jack or Glenn Kamara, for another attacking player. Is that something that you do think about, or would that unbalance the side too much?
I think it's certainly something that comes into your mind during the game, before the game, when you think about the what ifs, what could happen. But you also have to take into consideration on how we play and how adventurous we are in terms of where our fullbacks go, and the what if scenario if they break out from there. We always like to have balance behind the ball. I certainly respect what Chris's opinion is on this situation. I think if you look at the game, we threw everything we had at it, probably besides Greg Stewart from an attacking point of view. I think it was a day where we probably left it too late to push as hard as we could have. Certainly the last 15-20 minutes were a lot better, but nothing fell for us in the box, and we couldn't provide that moment of quality to win the game. And that is going to be a challenge for us moving forward. You see the reaction from Livingston's assistant manager at the end of the game. This is what teams are going to try and do to Rangers. They're going to just try and derail us and take points away, and it's their cup final and it's their big moment. But we need to just keep doing what we're doing, which is to play as aggressive and as positive as we can.
Oh, thanks for that, Fox. I was enjoying that. Man, you back?
I'm indeed, pal.
JFK?
Yep, I just couldn't win him up there, pal.
All right.
How many times have we heard that one, Jimmy? I think we didn't work.
Rhubarb and custard JFK, they're there for you, mate.
Mine has no worked for a long time.
Right, where are we? Okay, so bad news. Let's start with the bad news, because it was bad news. Big Balogun and Aribo, they're going to make it tomorrow. So hopefully this will be the end of it, and they'll be back next week, and it's not going to be one of these sagas with the two of them. JFK.
I agree with you. I think the Balogun one, I was a wee bit more concerned about that, because we all saw the way that it landed Oxshire. It looked as if he took a right sore one on the hip, the bum area. So it was going to be arrested fine. The Aribo one, it was limping bad there, quite bad in the game. So it was a precaution. He took him off, and then he's not playing tomorrow. So we've got to be happy with the personnel we've got in place of them, and obviously we'll be getting our teams later on. But it's not going to drag on, especially Balogun, because I think we're all excited about the way what we've seen of Balogun so far.
And Aribo's been the guy who's getting the bums off seat, hasn't he?
He's a stand.
They'd be there, but he's been getting us all excited.
Of course he has, mate. He's been my standout player so far this season. So we've all miss him as we did the last game. So let's hope he picks a right team to combat what we know we're up against tomorrow. But one game to go before the international break, so it'll be interesting to see if he plays him any of the two of them next week, or just keeps resting him.
Mm-hmm. Aye, fair comment there. Aye, a bit of bad luck there, Bridge, and because the two of them had started well for us, didn't they?
Yeah, I think that I think both of them were fouled badly. That's what I think. I don't think there was any wee knocks. I thought it was deliberate, stamped, and the other one was the boy made a what do you call it? Made a back for him, and he was up in the air at the time. Took him out. That's what I see. And forgive me, I know I'm biased and all the rest of it, but I really see it like that, and I'm no forgiving person when it comes to these things.
No, I know that.
I can see the one team after another, and they're all going to target one or two people, and that's the way it's going to go. That's what I feel. It's going to happen like that, and it's only going to be targeted. They're only going to target Rangers players.
We'll be missing the two in tomorrow, so we have to make day. But obviously, Alan McGregor's back in the squad, and we've no other injuries or suspensions, so pretty much we're there, mate. Obviously, these two boys are missing, but we're bringing a Swedish international in for big ballad on GFK, so you can't be too unhappy.
No, and the big Hollander's starting to come onto a game in his own right as well, so we're looking for him to show us what we know he's capable of. So it's a good deputy. I mean, but no, that's one position. That's one position that we're... Sorry, mate?
I don't know if he's a deputy, mate. He'll want that jersey in his own right, won't he?
No, well, well, for me, Balogun, as I said before, he's no done anything wrong. And for me, as I said before, he was number one in that spot for me. You know, although Hollander's an international, but if you're playing well and there's not much point in taking you out of the team. So this injury to Balogun will obviously push him down the pecking order, I would think. But Hollander's a great man to come in and take that. So he's got to make sure that he holds on to that position and make everybody else stand up and take notice of him. I'm here and it's my jersey.
It just shows you how well Balogun had done for us in 2.5 games, Bridge, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was very impressed with the chap, I have to say. I think he certainly, his first game, he was immense. Absolutely immense. And it was great to see another centre-half that can take the ball in and command the space round about him. I think he was just excellent. And his second game, but not quite as great as his first game, but still a smashing player. And what a big loss he's going to be if he loses any more games. And I don't know what the manager's going to do, whether they're going to take a chance and bring him back next week. I don't know. Well, it'll be wonderful to see him back. Obviously, that means that Helander will probably drop out, but you never know. Maybe they're training. When they see them in training, they might not be quite ready, and the Helander maybe put on a bit of form before they're in between. That's the way I see it anyway. However, I do think that we sadly miss Aribo as well. Really and truly smashing player. Just like Jimmy said, he's been one of the best players we've had, and this season he's been brilliant. Up to now, of course, up to now.
All right, so people want to join us. What's the number? JFK.
0141 356 1972.
Where else can they join us, Bridgeman?
They can join us on Skype at rangersradio.online, and the lovely Fox will bring them in and look after them. Enjoy yourself.
The executive producers wearing a couple of hats tonight, mate.
The executive producer. I wonder how many hats he's actually got on tonight. That'd be interesting to know.
I don't know what he's got. Their faces are hats.
Oh, no,
so
two-man chew.
If Bridgeman's getting the Mint Imperials, is Oxshire getting something special? Fox getting something special, like Oddfellas or something like that?
No, he's after him, mate.
Was he?
The trouble was, he was always left with just pink ones, mate, because he only ate the blue ones.
All right. I was going to send him some love hearts.
Oh, there you go.
Don't mention us in a moment. Nurse Gladys he's known the good.
I definitely miss my Spangles, mate. I remember them.
Oh, Spangles! Now you're talking.
They were good. They were amazing.
That's a blast for the past, right enough, that, isn't it?
In the lobby, I wish a Spangle. No Neil Lennon, it's a sweetie.
You're all right. You can Google anything.
Listen, can I ask you guys? There was supposed to be some sort of decision tonight as to what was going to happen to the COVID mob.
I'm sure that'll break in the next month or six.
Next month or so, yeah. Okay.
I reckon that'll be decided by the 1st of June, mate.
Right. Okay.
So let's go back to the press conference. So Alan McGregor's fit. I don't even know if he'll start. If he's new that he's back training, I don't see the rush, mate. GFK.
He's not in my team, mate.
No, for the same reasons, mate.
For the same reason, continuity, mate. Continuity. And that's I think going Alan McGregor, but I'm thinking I've not seen anything that John McLaughlin's done wrong. So if it had been maybe Ford or something like that, or Almec, I'd have said get him back in there because I was never too keen on the tune. But for me, John McLaughlin's a very, very good goalkeeper, and Alan McGregor will do him well good to sit the bench for a game. He's not in my start.
I have to agree with JFK. I think that he would need to take a major decision to keep lad out. He's doing really well. He's never got it wrong. He's I tell a lie. He made one wee mistake and he managed to make up for it within seconds. Other than that, he's been superb. Absolutely brilliant goalkeeper.
You know what that means if we all think that means McGregor's starting tomorrow.
However, what I was going to ask you, if you were in McGregor's shoes, would you be quite content to watch your deputy doing something? If you're fit enough, are you going to approach your manager and say, "Am I getting a game?" I don't know.
No, I think it depends on how the fitness situation is. He said he only started training on Thursday, didn't he?
Aye.
You know, so you've got to be fair to the team. As a manager, your responsibility is not to Alan McGregor. Your responsibility is to the team.
You've got to remember, the manager didn't say he was in the squad. The manager said he's back training. So the boy Firth might be in the squad, and Griggs might just be sitting in the stand. So we'll just need to wait and see. But I'm by the end at this moment in time, I'd keep McLaughlin. No done anything that upsets any that can say that he needs to be replaced. So keep him where he is. Let Alan McGregor get fully fit, and then there's a fight there in it to see who is the number one now down the line. So no, keep John McLaughlin and goal for me. Let Alan McGregor get fit.
I see you're coming for. Anyway, we've been joined by a caller evening, Bournemouth Bear. How we doing, buddy?
How you doing, boys? How you doing?
Hi, Bournemouth.
All right, Bournemouth. How you doing, pal?
How you doing, boys? All right.
Yeah.
Another big game. Biggest game of the season again, as Bridgeman says tomorrow, boys,
Bridgeman, you can take that one.
Surely is. It's most assuredly the biggest game of our season. There we go. Last week was, and it's made it even worse, put more pressure on. This is a massive game for us. And if we come through this with the 3 points, well done, Rangers. That's all I can say. And let's move on to the next. We need it.
We need to take 6 out of 6 and then start the momentum. Bournemouth, in my opinion.
That's what we wanted. We wanted that, and I think that's what a lot of the frustration came last Sunday, Ox, wasn't it? We wanted the momentum. The chance was there to keep going, and we stumbled. But hopefully it is just a stumble, and maybe they kick up the backside, and we'll see tomorrow. But as Bridgeman says, it's a big game. We need a big performance again, and hopefully we come out and we need 3 points, and that's it. End of.
True, GFK.
Aye, it's Bournemouth's 100% there. It's whether it's 1, not 101. At the end of the day, as long as the 3 points are in the bag, that's all we're born about. We can have our moans and groans after the 90 minutes, whether it was an enjoyable 90 minutes or no. But for me, first and foremost, 3 points. Be 9 points ahead of the puddle drinkers before they play tomorrow night, and then let's see what happens after that. But for me, I'm not making any predictions. I'll wait till later on in the show. But the 3 points is a must. No matter the result. 10-9 will do me as long as the 3 points are there at the end of the game, mate.
Know how we call this 40 ounce of Friday, GFK?
Yeah.
I got a text from somebody today that said they just dropped a pallet load of 40 ounces.
Well,
pallet load?
I had something similar. I had a conversation, an actual conversation with somebody who had the same problem.
So it is now 40 ounce of Friday.
Yeah, of course it is. The man was distraught. Not as distraught as I was when he didn't. He should have gave me a phone and I'd have been up there with my bucket.
You'd have my shot.
But yeah, he spoke to me today, and yeah, it was very so. But it's the real 40 ounce Friday, mate. Definitely.
Yes. Wonder how many bowls is in a pallet? 1 or 2
Well, I think maybe a usual pallet's between 25 and 30 boxes.
And
usually
6
12
in a box.
6 or
12 in a box.
12
in a box.
12.
Yeah.
Oh, you're dear. A lot of liquid.
So did somebody drop the pallet? Is that what you said? Somebody dropped the pallet?
Somebody we know well.
Yeah, I'm not going to say any more than that, but dropped a pallet. Magic.
Anyway, we've done a speculation, and our gaffer, as honest as he comes, yes, there was an inquiry with the leagues, but they need to put another nothing on the bid there.
Well, that's else. I actually thought the other day it was a bit unsettling. I thought it was the press kind of moving round, but
So did I, mate, if I'm being honest.
Gerrard confirmed the Kent one, and apparently, I never heard it, but apparently somebody for Lille was on Talk Sport the other day and confirmed the Morelos thing. So So maybe it's not just the press. But what I would say is, should we be happy with this? Or not happy that people are coming in for bids for our players, but have we moved up a level?
We should be delighted that people are.
Nobody was interested in any of our players. We were nothing 3-4 years ago, and now we've got these big bids coming in for these players. So we should maybe be looking at the other side and going, well, wait a minute, are we doing something right here? We've got a team now. Teams are actually wanting to come in and get our players now.
Great point.
I never seen anybody come in for Russell Martin or Kevin
Exactly.
Andy Halliday. Feels like that.
And it shows you how much we've moved on. I know we don't want our players to leave, but it shows, there's obviously people looking at our team now. And so when you flip it to the other side, it shows you that we've got a good team, we're progressing, we've got good players, and there's decent teams coming in for our players. So when you look at it in that way,
positive.
The last 2, 3, 4 years, the difference is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Good players are going to get attention, JFK. Everybody's got a price, doesn't matter what club you're at. What club?
Of course you have. I mean, allegedly it was 8.5 million with add-ons that Leeds had offered for Kent. You know, and that's for me.
I thought add-ons were banned.
Add-ons were banned. Well, it says it. In my house there anyway. 8.5 plus add-ons is just a nonsense for me. You know, if and it's a big if. Ryan Kent never did leave Rangers, I'd be looking for double what we paid for him with add-ons, considering that the market that's out there the new. So I'm 100% sure it will come the transfer window closure in October. Ryan Kent will still be us, our player.
Jimmy, see if somebody did come in, say a couple of weeks, and somebody did come in and they offered, like you say, double. And they said, right, we'll give you 16 million for Ryan Kent plus a couple of add-ons. Would you take that?
No, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't take that, Bournemouth. I mean, I think that the situation we are in now is that, you know, we need to keep our better players. And if he's worth 16 million this season, then he could be worth 25 million next season. That's the way I'm looking at it.
That's what I think. This is the big season where we've got to keep.
Aye.
These guys could go next season for even more money. But this season, we need to keep who we've got, you know what I mean?
If it's 20 million, you can have him for 18 as long as he takes Barker with him.
You see,
can we not just accept 16 million and send Barker and Kidder's, Ken?
Aye. Or can we not just give him 16 million and we'll take Barker as well? On the other side of the coin.
We're only kidding. I know Brandon's ball listens, so we're only kidding.
On the other side of the coin, Bournemouth, the Alfredo situation is a bit different. The manager did say last week, which I wish he hadn't, had said that his head's been turned. You know, and I've seen the situations with players over the years and that, you know, if they get that itchiness, and and especially if the agent's pushing for his side of it, and they're offering maybe double, maybe treble what Rangers are paying. And for me, going to Lille would be a big mistake. But if a Premiership club down south in the middle of the table come in for him and offered the 20 million, I would take it. Do you
know what would make my mind up? Honestly, if you get to stupid money, everybody's got their price. What makes my mind up is when you look the boy's eye and you say, do you want to go? And he says, aye, go. Yeah, if your boy says he wants to stay, he stays.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Ox, here. What the Stevie G said last week is that Alfredo's head's been turned. So there's obviously been some sort of communication between him and Alfredo regarding the speculation about the transfer, which is no longer speculation because, as Bournemouth said there, it was Talk Sport had picked up, so did Sky Sports, and the interview.
The Lille president was on Talk Sport,
yeah.
And he confirmed that he made a bid of 16 million euros for Alfredo.
But my point is that with the gaffer already coming out and saying his head's been turned, you know, Alfredo's been heard that the gaffer saying that live, right? So how we don't know how he's thinking. You know, if somebody comes in and offers that more money and Rangers say no, then I would think it'd be Alfredo and his agent going to say, look, I want to go. And as you just said there, look me in the eye and tell me, do you want to go or stay? and you know yourself, you look somebody in the eye, there's a 99.9% chance you'll be able to tell that person's talking the truth or no.
If they want to go, I'm the same with all players. I mean, I know they've got the price, Bournemouth, but people want to go. I don't see the point. It doesn't matter who
There's
they are.
nobody bigger than Glasgow Rangers, and if Stevie G
this is
gets
what Ross Wilson and Stevie G will have to sit down. They'll obviously be sitting down. What if?
If they offer comes in and they sit down and they say to the boy, do you want to be at Glasgow Rangers or do you want to leave? If he doesn't want to be at Glasgow Rangers and the offer's significant for our club and they accept it, then let the boy go, because there's nobody bigger than Glasgow Rangers. There's been bigger players than Alfredo Morelos.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Morelos actually did want to go a couple of months ago. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But I think he'd maybe seen that the offers he'd been expecting, or could have expected, him and his agent never appeared. And the only offer that's came in is from that Lille.
Listen, remember that the transfer window's open for about another 7 weeks, Bridge.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, you know.
But every game Alfredo plays and doesn't score in our league against some of the teams that we play against, then that could be a notch off his price, you know. It could drive it down a bit.
No for me, mate.
Okay.
Doesn't work like that. He's got himself in where he's a commodity and he's a price, and he's that price because of what he's done, particularly in Europe, and his price will be his price. And it looks as if there's a 2 in it, you know. But GFK, but as I said, everybody's got their price, and the people want to go. For me, they get rid of them.
Of course, as Bournemouth said there himself, you know, there's bigger and better players have left Rangers, you know, and if his time's come. I mean, like you guys, I know the other Blue Roses out there, I don't want Alfredo to go. But if his head's no in it, if his head has been turned, as the gaffer said, then we wish him all the best. But we want the right amount of money for him. Let's not be taking any rubbish money. He's worth, as you say, let's put a 2 in it. I'd like to see a 2 and a 5 in it, you know, and that would shut a few people up, because I think he's worth that. But if they're not wanting to pay the money that he's due,
you to make it 2.5, is it?
But you're better making it 2.5, mate. Then you can stand toe to toe with him. You know what I mean?
But I will see where it more pans out, and obviously there's going to be a lot of speculation in the next 7 weeks. But for your club's point of view, Bournemouth, it's all about planning, and if somebody comes in, you've got to have plans to deal with it.
And we, in the space of the last 2, 3, 4 years, we won their club in this position. I mean, you look at it now, where these different players getting evaluated at different, you know what I mean? This is money that, you know what I mean, a couple of years ago, we would never have thought that, like you said, the Russell Martins and, you know what I mean? But we've still got to move on, because we're still progressing, and this is a big season. So the boys that are at the club, they've still got to give 100%. If they don't want to be at the club and they don't want to give 100%, they don't give them the jersey, they don't play. Simple as that.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
The two players mentioned would still be in my team at the moment. I don't see anything to lead them out the team. I thought
Aye.
The last 15-20 minutes tried to take that game by the scruff of the neck single-handed over the last week. But we'll see what it takes us. So, JFK, if people want to join us, give us their thoughts. What's the number?
It's 0141 356 1972.
Where else can you join us, Bridge?
They can join us on Skype at rangersradio.online, and Foxy will bring them in, or Old School Blue, depends who's available, and they'll look after you. Have enjoy yourself.
Here. I think I was in the Bournemouth camp. I thought it was just speculation. There's also been another story come out that the actual bid was a couple of weeks ago now.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
We'll see where it takes us. As I say, it's great that people are actually looking at our players, because, God's sake, 3, 4, 5 years ago with no assets Bournemouth.
No, but when you flip it the other way as well, the players have got to get on with the job in hand and all. Don't start getting all the, the big-headed and all, this team wants me and this team wants me, and speculation. It's all good and well, speculation and money getting offered, but, you play with Glasgow Rangers, we've got a big season, so you go on that part and get 100% because it's a big season for us. You know what I mean?
Hello.
Oh, I think we've been joined by a caller.
How you doing?
What are we doing, Dave?
How you doing?
What's on your mind,
I've
mate?
been Brian Kent. I don't think he'll go.
No, neither do I, mate. But the gaffer did confirm there was a bid which was contrary to what a lot of us thought. What else do you think, Dave?
I think Ryan Kent's in a situation where he doesn't know if he wants to stay or join Leeds United at the moment. He's in two situations. I think he should stay at Rangers because Rangers paid a good bit of money out for him, and I think that he should stay at Rangers.
I think the thing is, JFK, it's no Ryan Kent's decision at this moment because of where he's sitting, unless there's a buyout clause in his contract. He's just signed the contract less than a year ago, so
aye.
It's Rangers' hands, isn't it?
Aye, of course it is. And at the same time, I know, I mean, we paid $7 million for him, so why would we let him go for 8.5 plus add-ons? Even if the add-ons were another $5 million, you know, I'm looking for at least 14 and add-ons. So, I mean, they need to start going to the 1 and 5s and 1 and 6s, and then we'll maybe talk about it. But for me, it's a no-no. And I'd heard it was 2 weeks ago that seemingly there'd been a bid made, if that's true. But there's a lot of people bumping their gums about, you know, I would take 10 million for them and all that. And I've read it now, but well, that's up to if you think that whoever these are, then these are silly.
Rangers Radio.
Oh, I'll take this, mate. Hello, caller. How are we doing?
It's Dave from Edinburgh, mate. I've been listening for a couple of weeks now.
Hi, how you doing, mate? All right?
Aye, no bad, mate. I just been listening up about the bid for Ryan Kent. He's a no-no, mate. If there's one player we can't sell, it's him. For the last 4 games, he's the one player that's looked like, you know, but scored 2 goals and he's created a lot. All right, Livingston was Ken. That was what that was like. But he's the one. He looked like scoring against Livingston. That shot by the post, and he was the only one that was actually creating things. You know what I mean?
I don't disagree with that. JFK.
I think if they are thinking of selling him, if a bid comes in, it can't be any less than 15, 16 million. That's a big if. I still wouldn't sell him.
Gerard said in the press conference they're nowhere near. So, look, it's speculation. He answered the question. It was a couple of weeks when it sounds it. So, I don't think there's a great story for JFK.
It is put in, and I think we all know that in the lobby. I mean, we got him for 7 million, but Liverpool, I mean, I don't know if Dougie the Bears' information is correct.
They've got 20%.
If they've got a 20% sell-on clause, so why would we sell them for? No,
exactly.
Sell them for 20 million and give Liverpool their cut. Aye, but what do we want to sell them for? So, as usual, I think if Leeds did make a bid, fair credit to them. But he's no for sale. When the gaffer told us, and I think we all saw it by the press of the day, that the gaffer's no interested, and he didn't even say that come into another bid.
Somebody said the day on Sky Sports they're just chancing their arm because they've come in with an 8.5 million plus add-ons to make it 10. So why would you sell for $1.5 million profit? Nobody would do that.
Right, mate. You're right.
They would need to put a 1 in front of that before the talks become sensible. But look, I don't want Kent to leave. I don't want Morelos to leave. But as I've been saying for a while, Dave, there's fans' favourites.
It's the usual old story. The English clubs think they can come down here and get our players on the cheap. You know what I mean?
Aye.
And we need to tell them where to go sometimes. You know what I mean?
Aye, but everybody's got a price, mate. That's the problem.
Oh, aye. I agree with that. If it's astronomical and it strengthens the team elsewhere, same with Barisic, the boy was saying the day on Clyde Radio, he got shot down a bit, but I agree with him. If Tierney's worth 25, Barisic is going to be worth maybe 20. Do you know what I mean? I know he's older. He's about 4 years older than Tierney, but he's certainly as good as, if no better.
Plus, he's no a Judas, is he?
Aye. Well, he's a Croatian left back. That's what the boy was saying on Clyde Radio. Tierney's not even the first choice Scotland left back. Yeah, he's a good player. We're not saying he's not a good player, but the Croatian left back's got to be higher up than the Scotland left back.
Can I come in, Oxford?
Yes, Bridge.
I think we've found out a while ago, and we're still finding it's going on today, is that there's forces at work out there trying to try to bring down the prices of our football, our teams, and to the detriment of our club.
Oh, we've always undersell our players.
No, I'm talking about the valuation of them. They've got massive influence in the press in this country, and they use that to the best of their ability. And to them, there's only one club that's got the high-priced players, and we know who they are. But I don't believe it for a minute. We need to be able to, our club need to be able to manage these prices, and somewhere along the line, you need to stop all these stories or try to stop them.
No, you might not do it. You can't stop stories, Bridge.
No, I'm saying that you might not be able to do it, but they need to. Somewhere along the line.
The next thing you want is to stop rumours.
No, I'm correct.
No, I agree with you. It's a good thing that our players are. It's a good thing that our players are getting mentioned. You know, 20 millions, 15 millions, whatever. 2 years ago, it was 15 pence, 20 pence. You know what I mean?
He's right, JFK, isn't he? He's right.
So at least we're getting mentioned. You know what I mean? With these prices now, we've got a squad that we could say he's worth that, and we're no sell till we get this or that. You know what I mean?
Well, Dave, I heard the guys the other night there about they done a full cost what everybody thought our squad was worth. You compare the squad that we've got now to
I was listening to you. 80 odd million it was.
You know, that's night and day. You probably would have got 8 million for the squad we had before that. People are sitting up taking notice. What's that, mate?
I'm the same as yourselves. I'm obviously I'm a Rangers fan myself, and I visualise prices. Every player in that team, and I've got a price on them, the same as yourselves. What I would sell for, and what I wouldn't sell for. You know what I mean? I certainly wouldn't sell Morelos for 14 million, and I certainly wouldn't sell Kent for 10 million. You know what I mean?
All right, Dave, what's GFK come in? GFK, you were saying?
Aye, well, I heard you guys the other night there saying about the price of the squad that you all thought it was, and he's were bang on. You know, so it just shows you that the gaffer's doing something right, and the players that we're managing to bring in. Who could have ever thought with some of the players that we have brought in, you know, and Barisic is now beginning to show us the player that we all thought he was going to be. So, and then we've obviously got Roof and Itten to show us what they can do in the future. So, it's a multi-talented team we've got, mate. You know, I know we've got Steve Davis in there, the old Guile and that, but we have got a good squad of players, and they're worth a lot of money. So,
could I put one on these guys? What about
Jim?
It's Dave here. Sorry. I still think we need 2 or 3 players. What do you think, guys? What about going for that Turnbull? I know Celtic are in for him, but what about stealing him for under them? Because they've done a few with us over the years, you know.
What I will say is Mr. Fox, who's busy tonight, Mr. Fox really fancies that boy, and he watches a lot of football.
I watched him against Hibs, and he was the best player on the park.
All right, Bournemouth, in you come.
And he's a forward-thinking player.
And Bournemouth, in we come, mate. I think we've lost about 11 players, brought in 5. I think we need at least a couple.
I think we need 2 or 3 more as well. I think we're still a bit short.
Dave, calm down, but I'll mention your name when you come in. There's other people trying to talk, mate. Right?
Sorry, mate. I'm a first-time caller, sorry.
Mate. Not a problem, mate. And you come, Bournemouth?
Signing-wise, Ox, I'd probably say we need another right-back, and we need a box-to-box midfielder. Yeah. So in my opinion, we definitely need 2. We need a box-to-box midfielder, and we need a right-back. Cover for Tav, or competition for Tav.
I think we've got cover for Tav, mate.
At what, in Patterson?
No, and also Ryan Jack, mate.
Jack, he could step in.
Played there at international level, and he played there several times for Aberdeen.
Well, it's another shout. It's another shout. We definitely need a box-to-box midfielder. Definitely.
I think we need somebody who's, for certain games, maybe defensive, but we also need another We need a Rebo's young brother.
I'd love to see an enforcer.
But there's rumours about that Lundstrom.
For Sheffield United, we've heard about.
There's rumours about him.
Nothing concrete at the moment. JFK, I think about 11 or 12, and obviously we brought in about 5. So, but I think we're still a couple of bodies short.
I've been saying that. I've been saying that for weeks. For me, whether Fred's comes or goes, whatever, I still think we should have another striker brought in. Definitely a right back, as I've said before, to chase Big Tav up, and we need that midfielder in there that's going to fight for the ball a bit better. We don't seem to have that, and then I think the team would be complete. I mean, for me, Tav, he knows he's a captain, he's a shoe-in, he'll be the first name in the team sheet. He needs a chasing. He needs somebody behind him that's going to.
That's right. He needs somebody up his backside.
That's right, Dave. We need somebody that's going to, this is not just your position. I'm a good right back as well. And the young Patterson's a bit away for that, although I think he will progress well. And we certainly, I know a lot of people saying it, but we've already got Fred in that there, and we've got Roof. But Roof for me isn't a striker. He's not an out-and-out striker. He's merely a right winger. And obviously Itten's a bit, we don't know what's really happening with him, and we've not seen enough of him. And Defoe for me, I've always said, was a waste of time, but time will tell on that, whatever job he gets at Ibrox, because for me, he'll not play any part of this season.
He'll go back to after the international break.
He'll not be back to the international break, but I've said since away last season that it was a waste.
September, mate, that's already, you know what I mean? The season's moving on.
Aye.
I think we're on agreement, Bridgeman, that we need a couple of bodies in, but for me, they've got to be the right bodies, not just any bodies.
Oh, yeah, 100% agree, yeah. We need a number of players, possibly 2, possibly 3. And hopefully the manager's got that in his mind. And, well, obviously, everybody said it, we desperately need a really good midfielder. I mean, a really top-class midfielder. We need that. Somebody can actually. Oh, I know, it's really murder. It's really murder. And of course, it's cost prohibitive as well. You know, the prices of them are sky high. You know, so sometimes you're needing a wee bit of help for somebody who's played with somebody who's played. You know, and get some third hand on a really good what they think is a really good player, and see it and then go out and check him. Because somewhere along the line, we desperately need someone that can do the job. I agree with the boys about Roof and E10. And I think Roof is probably, I think he's about a month or so away. He won't actually start shining until after the international break. He'll probably start to shine then. E10, well, he needs to get games under his skin and get the legs running.
When you're a forward, you need a goal, Bridget.
Oh, God, desperately.
Can I come in, guys?
On you go, Dave. I know you're very shy.
Sorry. Do you think we're waiting to sell someone before we can strengthen the team further? Obviously, we're still thinking Morelos might go. And if we get the 18-20 million for him, there's three good players elsewhere in the team. What do you reckon, guys?
Potential for that. Go to JFK. But what I will say is we have been clearing the decks. McCrory's away. Greg Docherty's away. It looks as if potentially Murphy, maybe Jones. All of a sudden we're starting to free up wages.
Right.
And if you go through the other 11 that we've got rid of, who were nowhere near the first team JFK, we were paying out fortunes for nothing.
Yeah, we were. But no, what's frustrating for me is, I mean, if Alfie does go, right, then I think we should use that money to strengthen the midfield and the right back, because we've got a ready-made striker at Ibrox who, for whatever reason, the manager will not give him a game, and that's Greg Stewart. Right, for me, I don't understand why he doesn't get a chance a game.
I don't think he's an out-and-out striker.
He's not an out-and-out striker, Dave, but what I'm saying is I'm looking for Itten to be the out-and-out striker, along with Roof on the right and Ryan Kent on the left. But what I'm saying is, another striker for me, we don't need to go and spend 15-20 million on another striker if Alfredo goes. I just don't, I mean, he was the only one there that never got another run out again. Last two games, Greg Stewart.
If Alfie goes, I quite like the look of that Ivan Toney.
He's gone, mate.
Is he away yet?
Brentford paid 10 million for him.
Oh, is he away? Is he gone now?
Yep.
Come on, Dave, if you're going to come on here, do your
Oh, I didn't think he was worth 10 million right enough. I thought about 7 maybe.
Come on,
So
do
they paid 10 for him in the end. Aye, 10 million for that. Aye, okay.
So, Bournemouth, I think we're clearing the decks, potentially get some wages freed up to bring in maybe one, maybe two players.
I think he's clearing the decks for a midfielder up, to be honest. And that's he's getting ready, he's clearing the decks, free up the wages. Doherty's gone. Jamie Murphy will probably end up going on all. He's maybe got his eye on somebody. Don't know who it is.
Jones, Stuart Barker.
Yeah, you can speculate who's coming in, but nobody knows because everything's so quiet, Ibrox, which is good nowadays because we don't know who's coming in.
Those are good for us, mate.
Did you hear anything else about that Wiltshire the other day playing in that thing?
Aye, just a friend doing a friend a favour. That's all it was.
I thought that might have been a lot, but then again, he's not the answer either because that's not the type of player we're looking for. We've got a Rebo. You know what I mean? We need somebody hard, box to box. Nobody springs to mind in my mind, but I don't know. I seen that the boy for France that we were interested in. They're trying to sign a new deal with him, but they're going to loan him out. Is it Zunga?
Well, we had the same deal struck with Sky for Bridgeman, but they reneged at the end.
I thought he was overweight.
With Bridgeman?
No, Zunga. They said he was overweight. Now they're going to loan him out.
Can I ask you this, guys?
Who's that saying Bridgeman's overweight? Who's shouting out Bridgeman being overweight? That's shocking.
That was Dave.
See when I mentioned that Greg Stewart, I just like to know the rest of the guys. Your opinions on Greg Stewart. Do you think he's worth a start?
Listen, I don't think
so. I don't think he's good enough.
Him, mate, and I think he's the raw deal. And there's times when he should have been in the team. He done enough when he in his cameo was in the games he started. Then he disappeared for weeks and weeks and weeks. But I just don't know GFK if he's what we're looking for. But you never know. Stranger things have happened.
I think you're right. I think he's one of the players that shows up once every 6 games or 10 games or something.
You know,
he's not a consistent player.
You know,
no for me.
Enough? I don't know, GFK. I really don't, mate. But
no, I agree with what you're saying. You know, I do agree with what you're saying, but I just think that I would just like to see him had given a better chance in his game.
I would have put him on the park before I put Barker on the park last week. I couldn't believe that.
I'd have put Bridgeman on the park before Barker.
Even if he is carrying a few extra.
Aye.
Anyway, we've reached that
time. A pair of shockers.
We've reached that time of the evening where we're going to have a tune, so get yourself in mute, and Fox is going to give us a solo. apologies. I don't know what's up with Fox tonight, but if anybody phones in with the name that tune, we've got a special prize. It's a jigsaw of 150 pounds.
Hey.
Empty whiskey.
I lifted my me shirt of a good dance. I ended up throwing it away and I lifted my tambourine.
Aye, that was a Sally Ann, wasn't it?
Oh.
That wasn't even the staunch Queen Elizabeth, was it?
I don't think it was, mate.
No. Poor show with the tunes. Technical department, poor show. What do you think, Bridge?
Actually, I quite enjoy wee feet tapper for me, but
what was the name yet?
I got no idea.
Oh, exactly.
JFK will know it.
I'll name that tune in 147 notes.
Right, okay.
I'll name it in 160.
That jigsaw's up for offer. Anybody wants it? Well, no picture, but you put it together, 150 bottles of whiskey. Empty. Oh, dear. Well, the two callers I've dropped out with the tunes, maybe they can go on mute. Anyway, so if people want to join us and give us their thoughts, what's the number? JFK.
It's 0141 356 1972.
Or join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. We brought in a call with Old School Blue and Fox. You right in, talk to Bridgeman. There you go. What a treat. Bridge, we don't like talking about speculation about our players, but I think the boys have made the point. It is a bit of a compliment to where we've been there.
Oh yes, and most assuredly. Look, I wish all our players, I hope they all get into very, very high value bracket. I hope they all manage to get in there and stay there and get the dream move that they're looking for. I hope they'll get all that and make sure that Rangers are well looked after money-wise and so on and so forth. That's what I would love to see. You know, that I've got no problems at all with high-value players and well thought of. My difficulty is the opposite. So sometimes I don't think their players are valued at all, even although we think they are. There's a big chunk of our society doesn't think that at all and wouldn't think it. Wouldn't want us to be have value players. That's all I was meaning earlier. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of difficult, but most assuredly, Kent, a marvellous player, wonderful player. He needs to see this season through, and he'll become an even better player. Just wonderful.
All right. JFK, I know it is, but a lot of speculation. There's going to be a lot of rumours, and people are going to leave. But God, what a place we're in compared to where we were when we played Progress Niederkorf 2 and a bit year ago.
Aye, as we were all saying before, you know, exactly about that. I mean, some of the, but there's no other word for it than dross. Some of the players we had was dross. But look at the players we've got. 3 and
a bit year ago, God's sake.
Well, it was, aye. But I mean, look at as I said earlier on, what the players will go. And if teams are coming in offering between 15 and 20 million for them, that shows you how far we've came in that short space of time, considering what happened in 2012 when he threw us down into the dungeons. You know? So we've got to be happy about that. We'll not be so happy if they end up having to lose some of these players before the end of the transfer window, if the money comes in that we're all talking about the new. But so it's up to Rangers. You know, they want to play for Rangers, then you've got to knock that money back. But then, will Rangers knock it back? That is my concern. Will Rangers knock it back? If it comes untenable and there's money there available, will they turn it down?
Not everybody's got a price, JFK.
Of course you have. But I mean, there's talk. Not just talk about Kent, and obviously there's talk about Alfredo, but there's even people talking about Barisic. You know, but we had the talk last season about Kamara. So I mean, you don't want to end up losing half your team. Bringing 2 or 3, 4 good players in and then having to lose maybe 3 or 4 again. So I'm kind of walking in eggshells for the next 7 weeks, mate. Hoping that if Alfredo go,
7 weeks.
Isn't he half, mate? Well, my feet will be sore. But no, let's hope that we come through this 7 weeks unscathed. But adding players into the squad, we need to add players. No sell any. And if we do sell any, it's got to be for big money.
All right, so That was what came out of the start of the press conference, and he was asked a question about formation. He gave an honest answer. Stevie G, he thinks about it constantly, about more attacking options, and if buts and maybes, and obviously he said that the fans were right to be critical of the performance last week, but some it's OTT, and we understand that. I mean, if you speak to us off 15 minutes after the match, JFK, as you know, your answers then compared to the Monday night are so different, aren't they?
Of course it is. I think it's like everything else. You know, it's the gut reaction that you get, right after the game. It's something that we all do in every day in life. Now, if you just sat down and maybe counted to 50, never mind 10, then you would get a different answer. But I mean, when I heard him say that, obviously he listens to what the fans saying, which is good. And I think most Rangers managers have done the years. Some haven't, are quite arrogant. But I mean, I'm hoping he goes for a good attacking formation tomorrow. I've got my
what's
team
your
here.
team tomorrow then?
Well, my team tomorrow is obviously McLaughlin. And I'm going to go a 4-3-2-1 formation, right? And I'm going to go with Tav, Golson, Helander and Barisic.
Right.
And in the middle, I'm going to play Kamara, Davis and Jack. And I'd like to see him play a 2 up front with Alfredo. The 2 would be Roof on the right and Kent on the left. I'd like to see Davis come through there and help Alfie a bit. That's just
4-3-3, really.
Sorry, mate.
4-2, Kamara, Jack, Davis in front of them, and then you've got 3 up front, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, okay. All right. Bridgeman, have you had any thoughts about your starting 11's going to be?
Well, actually, I quite like Jimmy's. Quite like Jimmy's team. That's quite a good team, that actually. But it's the layout. I'm a wee bit confused with the layout, but to me, it sounded like 4-3-3. That's just what it sounded like. You've got a wee tweak here and there, but that's probably the best team we could put out, given the situation with players. So I'll back Jimmy on that one.
Well, I'm going to steal Mr. Fox's idea for the other night.
No, this is a different night. Now some players aren't available.
Yes, I think McLaughlin will start. Tavernier, Barisic, fullbacks. Helander, Golson. Jack Kamara. Bareilles, front of them. Ruth on the right. Kent on the left. And Iton right up top. Alfie, everybody likes.
So Alfie plays behind the centre forward. Yeah?
Yep, does what he likes.
Interesting.
That's also interesting right enough, JFK, isn't it?
It's not something I think he'll do.
No, I never said I thought he'd
do. No. And it's something I would like to see. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'd be happy with that. If that was the way he set the team out tomorrow, I'd be happy. I want to see what Itton's got. There's no use just keep bringing him on for a cameo. We need to see what he can do. So if that formation that you said there, Oxia, allows Itton to be up front there with Alfredo at that position you're talking about, then I'm quite happy with that.
Mm-hmm. So if people want to join us, give their thoughts, give their teams for tomorrow. What's the number, Bridgeman?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Where else can they join us, JFK?
You can join us in Rangers Radio on Skype at rangersradio.online, and you'll be put through by the voluptuous Mr. Fox, or should I say our executive producer?
No, we prefer the voluptuous one.
Yeah, okay.
Never floats your boat, mate.
I know. That's a shocker, isn't it?
Aye, so I mean, I'm not claiming credit for that team. That was the sort of format Fox put out, and I understand where he's coming from. I think it'd be offensive. You're still getting the cover in there with Jack and Kamara doing what they do. You would have the 2 fullbacks bombing forward. We would have more people in the box. I see a lot of pluses in it when Aribo's out the team. JFK.
I can't disagree with that. I mean, look, the gaffer's got to put out the team that he has got to play against, which is going to be a very, very defensive unit. And for me, he's got to go for it right away, as I said in the first part of the show. I'd like to see us go there and just ultra attack at the start of the game. And
caller coming in.
All right.
I think it's Andy Felix. Evening, Andy.
How you doing, Paul?
All right, mate. Where are you? You up on road or down the road?
No, I'm back down now.
Everything go okay for you?
It was fine. Thanks for that the other night. That was a great touch there. I was sitting having a few drinks, listening to the show, like, and I thought, did I hear that? I was steaming, like, you know. But thank you for the shout out for him. Much appreciated, like, you know.
Not a problem, mate. Not a problem. How did you go on at Ibrox? All right?
It was fine. I got up there for about 10:30. It didn't open till about 11 o'clock, like, you know. So I got in and did what I needed to do. I got in about, I think it was about 20 minutes, you know, after it opened, like.
Right.
I had a good look around, looked at the taps, got what I wanted. Jimmy, by the way, there's no socks left because I bought them all.
Aye. Well, I know, Andy, you've spelt that now. I know what I'm getting for my Christmas. Thanks very much.
We know what we're all getting. You don't want Andy Felix the Secret Santa. We're all getting socks.
Aye. No, but some of the stuff was good quality. I wasn't hammered with the Ganses late enough, you know. I got caught behind a lassie in front of me, like, and she said that she did a couple of years ride from somewhere. I can't mind where she said now. And I said, "What are you doing back down?" Like, she said, "Well, when they first started doing it, if they just wanted a shirt, they put it in the bag for them, you know, with the COVID carry on." So she drove all the way back up 2 hours when she got it open, like, there was no crest on it. She was doing a nut, so she said, she rung them up and said, "Oh no, we'll give you 25% off and just buy another one." She says, "What?" She said, "I'll just give you £60 there." You know, so she come all the way down, like, anyway, I think she got it changed, like, but the quality in the one that I got, that was fine. I'm quite all right with it. Like, there's going to be teething problems at the first, isn't there, like, you know.
I think, look, I'm no sticking up for Castor. I think there's been some errors made. I think there've been, if you want my opinion, they've tried to launch too many products at the one time.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's my personal opinion. They should have concentrated less and phased it in at a different pace. The Bears would have still have got it. They've obviously the numbers and have just surprised them. GFK. I think they would admit that if we could have a conversation with them. By the way, which we were trying to do this evening. We were trying to come on for Castor, but I think the numbers is just knocked them over, GFK.
Aye. I've seen a lot of reports, some probably false. I see there's moves by others to try and sue certain tabloids for their false reporting. But as Andy says here, look, there's going to be a lot of teething problems. I don't think these guys for Castor realised how big Rangers were really. And I think when what's happened when the 100,000 mark got there, they thought, my goodness, this is real far, far bigger than we ever thought. And I'll try to do the right thing and outsource it to other companies to make the shirts and that. And seemingly there is some slight difference in designs in some of them. The material in some is slightly different. But you know something, that'll all get sorted out for the start of next season when we're obviously they get running better again. So we've got to accept that. I
think they deserve some criticism, but I think they also deserve some plaudits. Obviously, the deal's exceptional for us for money, and the timing of the deal when it fell in March, and then obviously with this pandemic, Bridgeman, anything's going to be harder to do than in normal circumstances.
Oh yeah, absolutely. By the way, I have to say, like ourselves, we've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now. Got to take your hat off to them, and whatever they were, I dare say they've been swamped, absolutely swamped with the sheer volume of requests and orders from the Rangers fans. It's unbelievable stuff. I mean, the numbers are phenomenal, allegedly. So it'll be interesting to see how Castor come up with the bit that Jimmy was just speaking about, where there's a difference in quality. You know.
They need to get that sorted, mate.
Exactly, and I don't think there should be any qualms about it. Just get it done.
You can't have little Johnny and little Jimmy and the two that scared them to each other. They've got different taps on.
Yeah, they must be taking some cash in there right enough, because, like I say, when I got in, like, it was halfway around, and then when I come out, it was going all the way back round, you know.
I think the numbers we've not heard from them for a wee while as such, but the numbers have just. They said that after they announced the Rangers deal, the Rain product sale went up by 90%. So that's the Bears buying all their T-shirts and as GFK, the running stuff and all that.
Oh, definitely, mate. I was looking for some good Lycra tight stuff, and that just to show my figure off, and that, you know. I'll get you one and all. We'll choose a run together, mate.
Give me that top. Give me that top that I've got shows my figure off. Don't worry about that.
But what I hope so as well.
It didn't matter with squeezing into it. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you, if I squeeze into the one that you're talking about, I'd burst the seams, mate.
Oh, well, I would have done back in the day.
Quality control, GFK. Quality
what I have seen is that people are saying it, and they're not moaning about it. They're saying that I should have ordered a size above, you know. And this is a trial and error for Castore. They need to get it right the next time, and they will. So if anybody's listening out there who's had their moan about it, just no. If it doesn't fit you, they'll take it back and you'll get another one. Stop putting rubbish up on different places. And no, it's Rangers. You're a Rangers fan, so you should be supporting Rangers that way. And that really peed me off today when I read some of the things, you know.
Oh, some of the things it's been written, mate.
Garbage.
Over a T-shirt. Look, if the quality's not right, like that lady you told us about, Andy, she's entitled to be annoyed. She's entitled to get a refund or swap it for.
Listen up. As soon as she went in the shop, like she got it sorted. Like there was no bother. She's probably just got somebody on the phone line, just going by the guidelines of what they're supposed to say. Like, she just went straight in. She come out. She just gave me a nod. Like, said, "I'm done, Andy." She's away.
Oh,
so she was quite happy.
Name and number. Smooth operator.
Aye, but it was good. I really enjoyed it. I got a good few photos with the grandwains and all that outside the gates. And I got all my family.
Did she know you were a megastar on the radio?
That was good. I enjoyed it. And then, like I say, we went down and saw the old man out, like, and that was good. We found a good spot for him and all that. So everything was good. Then when you put that on the radio, that made the day, like, you know. But I can honestly tell you, I'm on a dry night tonight, to be honest with you.
A dry night?
Oh, definitely. I can quite a lot up the road. I forgot who Elliot was up there. They were wanting me all over the place.
I know you like the vodka, but
not tonight.
There's a Scottish shortage of grouse at the moment, mate.
Aye, well, like I say, I mean, it was good. I really enjoyed it, and as I say again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for that. That's touch roll tax things, like, you know. We'll move on.
We're all one big family on here.
I know that. Well, that's what makes us what we are. But it was great, though. I really enjoyed it. Like, it was fantastic. That, like, we're all sat there like this. Listen to these. Listen to this. So I had them all listening. And they all were touched with it as well. You know, so that was good. I enjoyed that.
Can I just say, GFK, I know we getting back to the Castore thing. I've been doing a bit of market research.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think the market research is maybe look at the guys in their early teens and that, the boys that are, I know that all sorts, but they're the ones that's getting the straps, and the grannies are buying for them and the families are buying for them. And I got somebody we know to have a wee chat to and we're not getting any negativity for them. There seems to be like the odd one.
Yep.
And then it's all blown out of proportion, and then everybody's jumping in the bandwagon. We just have to slowly get it right. I'll hold my hands up. I think they'll try to launch too much stuff too quickly. That's my own personal opinion.
I think what I think it was Fox that had said, well, they've done something in 3 months that probably should have taken a year to do. But it was a time scale. We were battling against a time scale, and Castore tried to fulfil that, and it was bigger than I think they ever imagined. So all I can say to everybody, be a wee bit patient. You know, as far as I know.
What would you give them, Jimmy? A B+?
No, I probably wouldn't give them a B+. No, I'm going to give them an A right away. They're not even they're no near an A. But I mean, as far as I know, I might have a wee pair of nice Rangers flip-flops coming my way. So that's about all I think.
Sliders, mate.
Sliders, mate, aye, because somebody said to me they went there yesterday and a guy for Leeds had bought all the socks. So
my big friend who had the whoops today, he still Snyder's.
Snyder's, aye. Snyder's.
Aye.
So you're getting a new pair of shoes out of this?
Oh yes.
Well, I'm going to get a pair of sliders, aye, but I'm not getting any socks.
Have you noticed we're bumming them up? What have Kistor offered you, Chief Bridgeman?
Nothing.
See, I mean, you've got to bum them up, Bridge. We're bumming them up, me and JFK.
Sliders are all right, by the way. I got a pair of them. Like they're all right. They're okay.
I'm thinking of getting a pair. You see, I just wondered what they were like. So how?
They're all right.
Like
they're good quality. They're good quality.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I got them. Like I got the big. You know the big.
One of the messages with a pair of sliders on.
Aye, but the big floppy hat as well. Like you know. I got one of them as well, like, you know, well, just buying everything in sight, to be honest with you. I got mugs and tumblers and, you name it. It's good. So no, I kept saying, like, what are you doing? Like, I said, just buying it.
I've just had a thought put right in my head, a picture there, a fox walking about, Bridge walking about with Mrs. Bridge in Sainsbury's and with sliders and his floppy hat on.
It's Waitrose in the corner to there.
Was it Waitrose?
What a shocker, straight to her.
If you get to Waitrose, you'll need to wear socks with your sliders and don't let you see flesh.
No, these, I think the ones I would, but just for the house, to be perfectly honest with you.
Oh, yeah,
for about the house, you know.
You get fed up with the noise, Bridge.
Huh? I quite fancy the Rangers skip hat, you know.
Yes.
And the wee wallet, you know, the wee card holder wallet. I'd like one of them. So see what Mrs. Bridgeman says when she would like to come over to the show.
In other words, we'll see what the boss says.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Anybody who's not giving them a B+ or who's got any genuine concerns, what's the number? JFK.
It's 0141 356 1972.
Now, joins at Skype at rangersradio.online. We brought in a call with Fox, our old school bloke. Give your thoughts on if you purchased any cash stored there. Give your thoughts on how the game's going to go tomorrow. Big game, as they all are this season. So a B+, okay, I'll accept that. JFK, B+.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that.
Sorry, Jim.
Sorry, go, Bridgeman. No, you go, pal.
No, I was just going to say, going by what I've read through follow and so on and so forth, good and the bad, you get it all in there. But yeah, B+, I would say that. I take my hat off to them. They've really put themselves right on the map. And if they can handle this right up to Christmas, oh my God, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be fantastic.
Well, let's get it right, but it's not been perfect. But what we're saying is, in the circumstances, B+, yeah?
Oh, yes, absolutely. We can see.
Just to finish on that, Oxshare, if that's your what really makes me want to rip my knitting is that if you get a sewer carton of milk, you're not going to put it away, but you take it back to the shop and they'll give you another one. So there's too many negative people on there wanting to go in and post a strip on and say, take it back to the shop. Even if you ordered it online, take it back. If you've still got your online receipt, Rangers and Castor will replace it. So please stop putting rubbish up, because some of it is absolute garbage that have been put up. And that's the end of the matter for me. Just don't be putting silly pictures up. Go to the shop.
World we live in, innit? It's a social.
I know, mate. It's horrible. It's horrible.
People put their dinners up, mate. You know what I mean?
I've seen that, mate. Aye.
Well, anyway, it'd be great to hear if anybody's got any different thoughts, because obviously we can only see what our feedback is. Well, there was another thing we never really touched on it during the week, but my Jers Bridgeman is 25,000 and Henry was 30,000. Unbelievable.
That is stunning. Those figures are just stunning. I'm not being funny. I mean, I don't know how much money they're getting out of that, free cash. But my God, it's a big lump sum for the Rangers. Just brilliant. I'm so proud of the Rangers fans and what they've done, what they're doing and have done for the club. It's just wonderful to listen to. And I hope it goes on. I hope they keep it going as long as possible. That's what I really hope for.
JFK.
I was laughing there. Magpies just put, when you got a Castor thong today. It was supposed to be shorts though. Magpie, I'm looking for a mankini, mate. What do you think I should buy? Pants or shorts?
There's a thought.
Oh, dearie me. But look, everything's going good regarding the strip situation, the order kit and all that, and all the other stuff that goes on about it. So I'm happy with that. But just it has made me rip my neck, and some of the rubbish I've been reading the last couple of days.
You're repeating yourself now. The Siders obviously kicking in. So my jersey we're talking about now.
I was going to say about the my jersey, 25,000 is it so far?
Yeah, it's jumped up a bit since then.
Is it? That's fantastic. Is it guaranteed on the waiting list and all that? You get your wee package and all that. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant thing that today. It doesn't like my candle. It's not something I've joined, and I think a few others. But 25,000 is absolutely fantastic, and it's another good marketing. Well, I say ploy by Rangers. It's good. The people want to buy into it. They're bought into it, and fair dues to them. But it's not something for me, mate.
I think I read somewhere today, and Rangers might have took in more money for my jersey than some of the clubs have took in season ticket bridge.
Oh wow! You know, seriously, it's only tonight that I started talking about the numbers. That started ringing in my head. I'd never thought of how much they would take off it. Really, but if they've got more than some clubs have got in season ticket, oh my God Almighty! And I'm assuming that you're not talking about the Barton or something like that, you know.
No,
talking about some well-known, better-known clubs. Yeah. Wow, that's just amazing. Just absolutely stunning. Just stunning. I'm so happy for them. So happy for them. I just hope they go with it and be careful with it and don't do nothing stupid and lose it, you know.
Get it right.
Absolutely. Of course, we're all building up to the anniversary that's coming up, isn't it?
50 years, mate. Aye.
Yeah.
So,
yep. Andy, just go back to the shop quickly, and I don't want to go on about the gear. What about the actual shop? Because obviously we've not been in it for a long time, and it'd be great for people who go to the games. How was that as a facility?
It's very impressive. You know, like these modern shops they've got now with the space, with the racks in between them and all that. Everything's crystal brilliant, absolutely fantastic. I would play any Rangers fan to go in there and take a wee look. It's you know, we're actually in the modern era now. You know, from where we've been and all that, it's a wee tearing, to be honest with you. Like, you know, a wee footnote on that as well, right? I'll tell you right now. See, if you're going up there, don't go with cash. You had about £500 in my pocket. And the guy opened the door, like, he says, have you got a card? I said, no, I said, got cash. I'm running down the road, shouting the message. You better come back here with your card, like. So she had to give him a card, like, you know. So don't turn up with cash. I didn't realise that, like, because I don't do. I deal in money all the time, right? And if I have a card that the money, my wages go in, that's it. I won't pay out on anything like that, you know. And I forgot the bloody My JS card, you know, to get the points on. I forgot to take that as well. So,
you're not very bright, are you?
No, not really.
No.
Hey, listen, the 2 nights of drink there before it, like I was all over the place, you know what I mean? Come on. But no, honestly, it's absolutely fantastic. You go in there. They're selling the programs as well on the front. You know, when you went up to the desk, like, you know, they were all there that you could pick up and all that. So when you get in, you'll get that wee, you know. I mean, as soon as we turned around the corner, I just said to the family, like, you know, she's looking. They're all going back, like, well, as soon as I got off, like, there's a right walk round and everything. But yes, great, honestly, fantastic. I would.
It's another big positive. I mean, you think about it, GFK, we've not made a penny in match days.
I can't remember who it was. I think it was Rudy Bear that said that going into the Rangers show was an embarrassment before. And listen to what Andy's saying there, and a few other friends that have went to the Rangers shop. It does. You see, it brings a lump to your throat. You know, it's your shop. And Rangers are making fantastic money for it. It's absolutely brilliant, and long may that continue. And what I'd hope they did, that they managed to open other outlets about Glasgow, Belfast, and wherever else they're going to be. And,
not too many GFK, because obviously you've got to be sensible about that. Shops are a dying thing.
Aye, but I mean the one at Enoch Square was always busy.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's elite still, so we might.
Aye, I know, but if they open a shop up there or in the centre, but for my friends and relatives and that are across the water, they deserve one there in their big centre there. So if they've done another two, got one in Glasgow and one in Belfast, you know, and I don't know what the plans are for their main shops down in Liverpool. What they're
they've got the Rangers gear in, mate.
They got it all in there, but that's fantastic.
No, they didn't. Some of the Rangers gear, it was the second strip. There was loads of them. I believe they all disappeared. I've not done any reports about the London, which is arranged in Bond Street. I might take a wee trip up and have a swap shoot. Just to see how that does, the Castore shop there. But aye, so great news about the shop. It's going to be funny, Bridge, when we turn up there and the biggest queue usually at the back of that stands people queuing up for your autograph. Queuing up to get in the shop, you know what I mean?
I remember at its worst when they were boycotting it, and they were putting, and everybody was getting into it, was getting booed, you know. There was a lot of many people there. But my God, it's going to be tremendous on match days when you watch the guys getting in with their sons and things like that. In their way, and just to get in and buy stuff. Fantastic. It'll just be wonderful. And you could pop your head in the door, the place will be mobbed virtually every time you pop your head in. Aye.
Obviously, you'll need to observe social distancing.
Yes, of course. Just while I'm touching social distancing and all the health and safety rules, JFK.
Yes.
Here's a question for you. You know, there's two teams in Scotland who are foul of the regulations.
Mm-hmm.
Would you think they would use one of their teams as a tester when they can't abide by the rules? Well, two other players have been caught out already breaking them. Seems a bit bizarre.
Yeah.
It couldn't possibly happen, could it?
Well, I think there's a good possibility it will happen. I think we all realise that. My information is that there's already a lot of things underway. I got a phone call this morning that there was individuals seen going into the Pedo Dome, Mr. Lywell, Mr. Doncaster, the Guy Leach from the government and 4 or 5 others, and they were inspecting the Pedo Dome today. And then I saw Popcorn Mouth on the telly tonight, and he was bumping his gums about it. So if that's a reward for breaking the COVID laws, then what else is happening to the rest of us? So they're looking to have their game against Motherwell next Sunday with fans in it, and it would be really, really galling if they rewarded them with that. It's absolutely disgusting, mate. Disgusting.
The whole thing stinks, doesn't it? The whole thing just stinks.
Well, you're right. It does stink, mate. That's their problem, mate. They should have been social distancing years ago.
Do you know somebody
didn't necessarily mean it like that, but that type of thing, you know what I mean?
Do you know how paranoid? No, that's not the right word. How angry it's making is. I was talking to a friend today after the wee Nippy's press conference and there's things happening up in Dundee, and he says to me, John says to me, he says, do you know? He says the reason she's no shut down Dundee the same as Aberdeen is because the Beggars are playing there this weekend. Do you know, and I can't argue with that. So it's one rule for them and no rules for us. Terrible.
Well, what I will say is it's funny how this random computer's worked out again, isn't it?
That's amazing, isn't it? It's just incredible. It's the randomness of it all, Just dreadful. Just dreadful.
I think it was predicted about 4 weeks ago by somebody on one of the forums it was going to happen. God, I've got it right. But you're right, it stinks at a club that can't control its own players. 2 of them broke all the rules, breached health and safety, and how do they get rewarded? Unbelievable.
But you know the frightening thing is about it, Oxshare, is that, I was talking to a couple of people about it the last few days, and there seems to be people are talking about, especially people in places of authority are talking about that they're going to make an example of the next club that breaks the rules. So they'll probably get a fine, and then what it'll probably be is if you break the rules again, then you will be deducted points. So how does that set an example? Deduct the points you knew, and then that sets an example. That's like saying to somebody, you're getting done for murder today, but we're only going to give you a couple of years. But see anybody that does it after the day, we're going to give you life. It's the same principle.
Was that guy eligible to play?
No, he wasn't eligible to play. It's the League of Warsaw game, so he shouldn't have played.
Exactly, mate. As simple as that. Anyway, we're no surprised. We're not concerned. We're only concerned about taking 3 points after Kilmarnock. And maybe if they had a social distance for years, they wouldn't be under the spotlight.
Correct.
Will the eligibility of their player be discussed, do you think, at Hampden and during their investigation into them?
No, mate, no.
Okay.
That carpet here, just put it under there with the rest of the secrets.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, yeah.
Nah, I'll not be discussed. They'll commit with we've done everything. They're even doing it the new, and you can we've done everything we could. They keep using that we're at the forefront. That's a new word now. They went for integrity to we're in the forefront.
Well, this is the forefront. When they brought their players back after 2 days off or whatever, they never asked them where they've been, what they've done.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They're that much in the forefront. They couldn't control 25 first-team players, never mind thousands of supporters.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't get me started, JFK.
Oh, I know. Tell me about it, mate. I'm ripping all my knitting. I need to start again.
I play a different game in real life than what I play on here, mate.
Aye. Partick boys, we are here.
Go on yourself, JFK.
Oh, they were snake nights for me.
Last Thursday, that drum chapel either side of me. Thought it was on a number 9 bus. Right, so the Mora. 3 points, no crowd there. It's important we get off to a good start, but it's just first and foremost, Andy, we just need to win the football match here.
That's what it's all about. Got it. I think we'll be all right. I'm not feeling it like Ashung said. He thinks we'll get Towsley through. What worries me about our team, I think we're going to get a one. But what worries me is usually when we'll have a dip over the last 2 years, we usually fall like we like, and we must win them all. I don't give if it's 1-0 or anything. Just get the 3 points. The 3 points tomorrow, and definitely the one before the international break. We must get a 6, and then we can sort of get the players that are your Hittens and your Roofs and all that, get some good training under them, see if we can bring them up, and then when we come back after the international break, we're ready to go, full throttle But it's just so disappointing when it's Sunday, so they've got to make up for that. I think he'll go with the same team, Bad Davis. He'll put Davis in for Arfield. That's what I think he'll do.
Well, Denver, we missed you. Denver, if you're listening, phone back in, make it. We missed you. You think Arfield will play? Did you catch you right?
No, I think he'll take Arfield out, and I think he'll put Davis in, and that'll be the team.
Right,
I think he'll try and get them to redeem themselves, for the way they played last week. I mean, that was sure. I was listening to you on Monday night. There was some angry bears there, wasn't there? But I said. If we got to that stage, I said I would have taken 10 out of 12, thinking that we would have lost 2 to the sheep. But it's so disappointing when they didn't have the games, and then we get a chance to really put the pressure on there. But we've got the 10. That's gone now. We've got to be positive. Get the 3 points tomorrow, and we're on and go. We don't want to be coming on and moaning. I don't think you see when guys are going up and winning that. It's just frustration from where we've been. We're no winning trophies. We all want the same, don't we?
We totally get that, mate. But what sometimes can be tiresome, and for the listeners and ourselves, is one guy comes on and says the same thing, which is fair. We get it, and then the next guy says the exact same thing, and it's all negative, and that can be frustrating for us as well. But we fully understand the frustration of people, and they're all entitled to their opinion, and we don't stop anybody coming on here and getting after chest. Rangers supporters, but they're welcome to come on and join us tonight. JFK, what's the number?
The number is 0141 356 1972.
Well, join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. We brought in a call. We'll be interested to hear your predictions for tomorrow's game. Yeah, I get what you're saying, mate. For me, JFK, I'm going to put this out there. If it's based on the last 4 games, Mr. Hadji does not start for me.
I've got to agree with that, mate. Definitely got to agree with that. Myself and you were talking about the jury's out, but the jury is in. I think there's a good player there, but where he is, I don't know. I'm frustrated with him.
That's where I would leave him, by the way. The jury's in.
Aye, well, I said before, I think it's his dad's name, who was a world-class player, and he can't keep living up to his dad's name, using that. He's his own man, his own type of player. But for me, at this moment in time, he's not doing what he should be doing for us. So, unless he's playing him out of position, I don't think he is. But, for me, he's not on my team for tomorrow, mate. Definitely not on my team for tomorrow.
Ridgeman?
Yeah, I can't disagree. He's been a bit of a disappointment, Hadji. And you've been saying for the last wee while the jury's out on him. And obviously it is. And there's an awful lot of Rangers fans feel he doesn't appear to be given 100%, or whatever he's given isn't 100% required. It's more than that.
I don't think he does. I don't fault his effort.
No, that's what I'm meaning. But it's not good enough. It's not high enough quality, and it's his impact in the team isn't big enough. I reckon I'd said it the other night. He should be scoring, one goal in every 3, for instance, in every 3 games. At least 1 goal in every 3 games. And he should be having a lot of shots at goal, making their goalkeepers save, because he's a lovely left peg, and he can take some good shots. But he doesn't do it. Not often enough, anyway. He doesn't do it.
Any thoughts, Andy?
I'm the same with you. I think the problem is that Scottish football's not going to suit him. He's got something in it, but it's not going to happen in Scotland for us. I mean, he's too slight, and you watched that game last Sunday there, he did nothing, did he? He just got shoved off the ball. I wouldn't play myself. That wasn't the team that's what me thinking. I think Gerrard will he'll try and get them to redeem it, but he'll just swap, like I say, he'll just swap Davis for Arfield. That's what I think will happen. But Ajay, I think we've wasted 3 million there, to be honest with you. But there again, I would jump into quick. He's only played a handful of games.
I'm not saying the video. What I'm saying is, we get him on the bench. We get him, try and get him on. Can we get a goal when we're maybe winning?
Yeah,
get
I agree with
confidence,
that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Big Barisic for the first 6 months didn't have the greatest of times, So it takes time for players to settle. I'm just saying that he's present for them. I personally, and it's only my opinion, JFK, I don't think he's cut the mustard so far.
No, he's no. And at 21, he's got a lot of good years in front of him. But, we were talking earlier on that, we're talking about when Ali McCoy came and he was rubbish. Mark Hateley, he was rubbish. Sasa Papic, he was garbage. But we gave him time and they came in and they played really well for the team. So we're going to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Maybe a wee stint in the bench will do him the good. The night against Braga was a fantastic night. And it's great to think back now, and what a night that was for him. But he can't live on that. He can't just rest in his laurels. He wants to play for Rangers. He needs to up the ante. So, like you're selling Andy, it's bench him. Don't drop him out the squad altogether. I know there's 9 allowed in the bench now. Just bench him. Maybe make him think a wee bit. No, I'm not guaranteed my place in this team. I'll need to fight harder. So for me, he wouldn't have been my team tomorrow. Definitely no.
I don't blame him totally. I don't think it was just him and Livingston, but I think we have to be sensible. But it'll be interesting. Right, it's a yes or a no. Who thinks that Gerrard will start him? JFK?
Yes.
Ridgeman?
I think Gerrard.
I know.
Oh, I think Gerrard will start him. Yes.
Andy?
Aye.
I don't know, so there. Yes. There you go. What do we know? Right, so do you think that any of the speculation will affect our two, if you like, star players at the moment? Two star forward players, Morelos and Kent, JFK?
I think it is affecting Alfredo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll affect Ryan Kent. I think we can start to see the signs affecting Alfredo. Is what I said the first half of the show. I think it was wrong for the manager to come out and say he's been turned. I think he should have kept that in house. And I think we're taking him off all the time and bringing on. No, just that's you. Your game's done today. I think that's going to have an effect on him. Yeah, I think I'll still play him tomorrow, but I think it will affect him, mate.
Frenchman.
I don't think. I think Morelos has probably passed the whatever effect there was, and hopefully he can start to pick himself up again. But I think Kent might feel it. After it's only been 1 week, less than a week since this story broke, so he might feel it a wee bit for tomorrow's game, just for saying sake. So
Kent's known about it for over 2 weeks now, mate.
Yes, I understand that, but it's hitting the papers and the fans are talking about it. That's what I mean. Not so much necessarily just him personally. So that kind of thing, it could. I don't know whether it does Twitter or Facebook or whatever. They're probably getting asked some questions anyway by fans.
Hey, Instagram. Are you on Instagram, Bridge?
No. I'm not in that. No.
I thought you'd be posting all your pictures, maybe your sliders and your new. Your new. Andy, do you think it'll have any bearing on the two of them?
Yes, I do. And what worries me, this is where Gerrard has to stand up. If he sees that in their eyes, he should be looking for the good of the team now. What we can't afford is we already know that Morales has been turned. If you get Kent, that's two. That's a worry. That's two of your main players. Whether he's turned, you can't afford that. So, Gerrard's got to stand up, look in the eyes of these guys and say, look, you're going to go through brick walls for me. And
I think that's the difference, though, Andy. Yeah. I think the difference is that the gaffer's made a comment that Alfredo's head's been turned. But he categorically said today that no, he's not for sale, as in Kent. So I think there's a difference here for me that he's already said Alfredo's he'd been turned. I just wish he hadn't said that. Should I kept that in house? That's my personal opinion on that. But Kent,
you might be right, JFK. But after the game after that, he scored 2 goals.
I know, but then he takes him off there, and then should have kept him on. Because we were hunting for a goal. And if he just took the rank player off for me, and you said that yourself right away, so I'm just worried a wee bit about that. But let's hope he proves me wrong.
It doesn't seem like Alfredo to get a hat trick, does he? Maybe he's got some bonus clause in his contract.
Maybe he's not got one he's keeping.
Listen, did anybody think Kent played well on Sunday there? Because if this story brought in 2 weeks ago, could it have been on his mind already? That's just a thought,
Many of the players were great on Sunday, but the last 20 minutes, at least Kent tried to take the game by the scruff of the neck. All right, people argue maybe he could have scored the one he tried to curl in past the post, but basically the threat was coming for him, JFK.
I agree with that, mate. I totally agree with you 100%. I thought he was our best player in that last 20 minutes. Try to take it to them, just wasn't working. So I'm looking for more of the same for him tomorrow. And I'm hoping I'm right. I don't think it'll affect him. And I'm hoping I'm wrong about Alfredo. I hope it doesn't affect him, but I've got my doubts.
Only time will tell. We've got a caller. Evening, caller.
Hi there.
What's your name?
How you doing? Steve. Listen, my name, I get called Steve the Boy, but there's no itch in there. Right? It's BOY, just to make that clear. I just wanted to chat.
Your name was Sean Boy?
No, Steve. Stevie Boy.
Only kidding.
I was listening to your chat there about Hadji, and I can see your point, but I sort of disagree with you in one way. Personally, I would play Hadji almost every game. I think what we need to be careful is the games that we play him in, because Hadji traps the ball well, he moves the ball well, he passes the ball well, he sees a move. But where he's less effective is against teams that park the bus and that are on your heels all the time. No, like Livingston.
So we're pleasing then.
Yeah. So and I'm saying perhaps that's some of the games that you might look to them in. But I think you'll see when you play like the Hibs, any team that tries to play football, I think he'll excel in.
Right, Steve. Listen, I'm not saying that the bad result was because of Hadji. I give you an honest opinion of what I see. And one of the things that's disappointed me, I think it was even at St Johnstone game, his touch has been atrocious this season. His control has been poor. Aye, these 4 games, in my opinion.
I think you're right. His touch has been pretty poor, but what you do get from him is the odd flash of genius. And when that wee flash turns into a goal, that's what you want. You know?
Yeah, there's stuff there, mate. When somebody scores a brilliant goal once every 6 weeks and then it's rubbish for the next 5 weeks. Is that what we want?
Well, we need to consider whether we're playing for the full game. I would take your point on that. So he's the kind of boy you would say, I'll give an opportunity because he's a game changer. You know, when you look at
what he will score you something. You'll go. If you were at the game, you'd be saying, "What a goal that is!" You know, he's got that in his locker. I think.
We're just waiting on that.
You know, but, obviously, what we do forget, Steve, is how young he is.
Yeah,
he's only 21 years of age. You know.
Absolutely, and the more he gets accustomed to the style of play that we get in Scotland, which often isn't the best, the better he'll get. You know, I mean, the teams that we play against, their first objective is to stop Rangers playing. Like when we play Kilmarnock, for example, I can predict everything that's going to happen with them. They'll be 11 behind the ball and a hit on the break. They'll be taking ages at every single throw-in. They'll be fouling left, right and centre, the same 3 or 4 players. Broadfoot will stamp on Morelos to try and get him sent off. You can tell what's going to happen in most of the games.
Dickon and Power will kick everything that moves.
Absolutely, definitely.
Is this the first time you phoned in, Stevie?
I just found it in Periscope up last week, so I've listened to 2 or 3 calls, but I've never saw it on before.
All right, okay. Listen, we've just came to the end of the show. Thanks very much for calling in, mate, but don't be frightened to call in the future.
No worries, guys. Have a nice one.
All right.
Cheers, Stevie.
Thank you very much, Stevie, and enjoy the game tomorrow, mate.
Yes.
Bridgeman, we've reached that time of the evening.
What can we say? And by the way, a startling, brilliant evening. Thoroughly enjoyable, good talk, good chats.
I'm still not paying for your Mint Imperial.
No, I can just say to you, well done, Oxchair, well done indeed, and Jimmy as well. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, big shout out to everybody, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio. Every single one is, we know it. Huge game coming up Saturday. Huge game coming up tomorrow. Keep it going for the Rangers. Keep it going.
Can I thank all the callers? Andy, Bournemouth, Dave. I think it was 2 Daves, wasn't it? Dave Edinburgh as well, wasn't it? Was that Dave? I think his name was Dave. In Denver, we missed you, mate. We'll catch you soon, mate. Thanks to JFK and Bridgeman. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue in the background doing all the technicals and executive producing. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock with a pre-match show. Rangers versus Kilmarnock at Ibrox Stadium. Take it away, Old School Blue.
And marching on through the years of history, heads held on high, up for the jersey they would do or die. Oh, fight, fight for right, play the game with a badge of glory. We'll lose or draw, well, that's a Glasgow Rangers story. See them march on, banners high as they fly before you, loyal and true, on the way to cheer the boys in blue. Oh, follow they will, marching on to the songs of glory. We'll lose or draw, well, that's the Glasgow Rangers story. Have you seen the Glasgow Rangers? Have you seen the boys in blue? Well, they're admired by all who know them. If you knew them, so would you. For they have played in Monaco, they have played in the USA. But the greatest game in history is the game on New Year's Day. For it's the home of famous heroes, and their praises they have been sung. Willie Waddle, Tory Gaelic, Alan Martin and George Young. And when all my life has ended, and when death has made its mark, will you scatter all my ashes on the slopes of Ibrox Park? And what the angels I'll be singing up in heaven, there up above, I'll be singing, follow, follow, to the Rangers that I love. And with my flute I will be playing in the valleys and the glens. I'll be happy and contented when the Rangers win again. See them marching on through the years of history. It's held on high, how far the Jersey they would do or die. Fight, fight for right, play the game with a badge of glory. Win, lose or draw, well, that's a Glasgow Rangers story. See them march on, banners high as they fly before you, loyal and true, on the way to cheer the boys in blue. Oh, follow they will, marching on to the songs of glory. Win, lose or draw, well, that's a Glasgow Rangers story. Win, lose or draw, well, that's a Glasgow